Walking down these empty streets, echoes of the past I meet. Lost and wandering for so long, searching for where I belong. Sunrise breaking through the night, guiding me back to the light. Every step feels like a prayer, promises hang in the air. Come back home, heal your heart, where the love never parts. Come back home, find your peace. In this place, your pain will cease. Memories of laughter and tears, answers to my deepest fears. In these walls I find my truth, washing away the years. Oh, the road was long and rough, but my spirit's had enough. Here in the sanctuary, healing feels extraordinary. Come back home, heal your heart, where the love never parts. Come back home, find your peace. In this place, your pain will cease. Oh, the road was long and rough, but my spirit's had enough. Here in the sanctuary, healing feels extraordinary. Come back home, heal your heart, where the love never parts. Come back home, find your peace. In this place, your pain will cease.
Gentlemen, good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, good morning. And I'll say good morning to ladies as well. I want to say good morning to my friends on YouTube, my friends on Facebook, my friends on Instagram. I will be streaming live to TikTok soon. All right. I'm a one-man band, a one-man army, and I'm figuring all this out. But I'm glad to be with you guys this morning. Good morning, man. Good morning to you. Good morning to your heart. Good morning to your soul. Wake your mind up this morning. I want to speak to you, brother. I want to tell you you're valuable. I want to tell you you're valuable. I want to tell you that you're going to have a hell of a day. I want to tell you that no matter what's went up and what's gone down, yesterday is history. Tomorrow's a mystery. And my brother, all you have is right now. The question is, what are you going to do with your right now? What are you going to do with your right now? Wake your mind up. Wake your soul up. Speak well of yourself this morning. While you're getting dressed, while you're slipping your pants on, man, tell yourself, man, I'm strong. I'm wise. I'm brilliant. I'm crafted by God. I'm made. I'm a made man, right? Made, not because the gangsters did it, because God did it. I'm made. God made me. I'm valuable. I'm strong. These are the words that every man needs to speak to himself. You got to tell yourself these things. You got to tell yourself how valuable you are. You got to tell yourself you matter. You got to tell yourself how great you are. You got to forgive yourself of what you didn't do so right. These are the things. This is how are you going to break your morning? How are you going to break the morning, right? The sun comes up, but you got to rise with the sun. Let me say that again, brother. Rise with the sun. Rise with the sun. Rise with the sun, man. Rise with the sun. I was when I used to teach, I was teaching in South Africa and at a conference, and I was teaching a scripture about how the scripture says that the sun rises and the star sets and the moon, right, All these things do what they do every day. You never have to ask the moon to get up. You never have to ask the moon or the sun to get up in the morning, or the moon to light at night. You never have to ask the stars to shine, because when they were created, when all these things were created, they started and they had a command. The sun was supposed to shine, the moon was supposed to glow, the stars were supposed to twinkle. And once God put those things in motion, they just did it. They didn't need a word of encouragement. They don't need a smack on the back to get them moving. And that's why I tell people, shine sun. As much as the sun should shine, as much as the moon should flow, they don't need help to do it. And as a man, stand up every morning, man. Get yourself together. Speak to your life. Speak in your life. And you don't have to wait for your wife to do it, man. Grab yourself, man. Hold yourself and tell yourself, I'm valuable. I'm a great dad. I'm a great husband, right? I'm a great friend. You got to say these things. You can't wait for people to encourage you, man. You have to be able to have wise words for yourself. So I say good morning to you, man. As you guys are coming in, good morning to you. 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 What kind of day you going to have today, man? Decide. Decide in your heart. Decide in your mind. This is the kind of day I have. This is how I'm going to approach this situation. One of the smartest things for men to do is decide how they're going to approach situations. How am I going to approach this today? You might have had a tough conversation at work yesterday, right? And now you got to get up and you got to go back to work, face the same issues. That's the thing about us, man. Issues don't change. We do, right? Sometimes we pray that issues change. Issues don't change, man. You have to change, and then the issue will change because you changed. So I'm encouraging you, before I go into this teaching, before I share, man, what I have for you guys this morning, I just want to wake your soul up. I want to say that you're amazing. I want to say that you're not a failure. I want to tell you that you're not the mistakes you've made. No, you're not, man. You are who you decide to be today. You are who you decide. Don't allow an enemy of your mind to decide how your day is going to go. You're in control. God made man strong, man. You're in control, my brother. You're in control, right? I know sometimes our minds, man, get messed up, man. All kinds of thinking throws us off. Guess what? So what? You're still the man. You're still the man. And a man is a man in his mind. It doesn't matter what's in his pocket. It has to matter what's in his mind. So good morning to you, brothers. Good morning to you. I want to say that I value you. I want to say that to that Instagram following, welcome to you. I've been doing this now for 2 days just on Instagram, but make sure that you go on YouTube and see. We've been doing these morning shows for about 3 weeks now. Nice growing audience. Men on their way to work, men getting themselves together. Men need encouragement. So I wake up early in the morning and put my stuff together, man, to be a blessing to you on your way to work, man. You're alive. You're well. You got another set of hours. You got another day. You got another day of strength. You got another day of wisdom. Use it, man. Use it wisely. Build. As you come in, man, say hello. Say where you're from. Get in the chat. Jump in the chat. Say hello, man. Say hey. And then how you feeling this morning? You know, share how you feeling, man. What's going on in your world this morning? How you feeling? What's going on? Do you feel strong? Do you feel wise, man? How you feeling? Are you up? Are you down? Share your heart today, man, as you come in. I want to go in this morning. I have to, of course, a day like this, get my daughter to school and make her lunch and all the things that dads do. And so let me get into this. I want to talk about how unhealthy, if you're an unhealthy man, and I'm not talking about just physical health. I'm talking about men are builders. We are responsible to build. Everybody wants us to build something. And in building something, my brother, the drive to build, the drive to become, right? What kind of career are you going to have? What kind of money you're going to have? What kind of family you're going to have? We're driven so much to get things done. I think sometimes that's the curse of man, is that he's always trying to perform. It's based on what he does and not who he is. And I think a lot of men, we get caught up in the battle of what we do and not who we are. We live a life of what we do. One question I would like to ask to all men, and I ask myself this a lot. The question I would have to ask myself, number one, are you proud of you? Are you proud of the decisions you made, right? But in all the driving that we do, not driving a car, but driven to take care of, and driven to do all the things we do, the question becomes as a man is, or are you okay as you're driving? I don't think a lot of people even ask that question. Are you okay as a man? Right? Because the question is, what do you do? How do you perform? Right? How many bills can you pay? And I'm not saying these things aren't the responsibility of man, but in all our doing, are we okay? The question is, who are you at the end of the day? Because this is one thing I said in all my travel. When I was young, I had young kids, right? I had twin daughters and my son, and I was always traveling the world teaching. And I would always say to them, man, I would always think to myself, I can touch the whole world. And I go out here and I go to all these countries and teach. My greatest fear is that when I die and I sit in that box and my body is laying out before my kids, and everybody around the world talks about the work I did in other countries, and my kids hate me. See, this is why you got to understand that a healthy you is better than a rich you. A healthy minded you is better than a wealthy you. Right? Now, I know some men, because you can't even grab a hold of this concept, because, again, this world system says go, 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 get. And all our getting, how much are we losing? Right? You see it in Hollywood right now. You see what's going on in Hollywood, and not just the recent story, but you see what's going on in Hollywood. These people have money. They have this and they have that, but they don't have healthy minds. And one of the greatest things that a man can ever build is legacy. The greatest thing you can ever build, my brother, is legacy. What will they say after you go? That's what it's all about. What will they say after you go? How did you affect the world around you? And that's what will count at the end of your life. And so money will go. People will fight over your money after you go. People will decide your little raggedy car, who's going to fight over the little raggedy car with 100,000 miles on it. Right. But the question is, what kind of legacy did you leave in the earth? These are the things I don't think we're taught. We're not taught this in school. We're not taught in school to be concerned about legacy as men. School ain't never going to teach you about legacy, because a school, why they call it a school system. Systems don't teach anybody anything. Systems clone people, right? That's why as a man, you got to be able to step out the system of what the system says a man is and transition into what a man actually is. And what a man is a man is a creative. A man knows how to get through. And a man is not just built to suffer. A man is built to lead. But you cannot get caught up, my brother, on all the things. Here's Christmas coming up, for example, right? Now, I know some of y'all like, man, it's only September. But y'all know as soon as September hit, it's holiday time. It's going to be an expectation on how you can do. You know, one of the greatest gifts you can give your children is sitting down, asking them what's on their mind. You can get them all the gifts in the world. One of the greatest things you can ever do for your children is sit down and ask them what's on their mind. That's a gift. That's a gift. That's a gift. That's a gift, right? So it's all about more money and more this and faster cars and this and this and that. For some of you single brothers, it's this woman and that woman. Let me tell you something, bro. At some point, all that's going to run out, and none of that speaks to the legacy that you will live. I want to press that word into you this morning. Legacy, legacy, legacy. And understand this, brothers. Legacy isn't about how much money you leave. Legacy is in the name you leave, right? Because the name you leave affects generations. The name you leave in the earth affects generations. So when you hear me talk about legacy, I'm not talking about the man who built a $500 billion company, right? That you don't have to have money to leave legacy. Right? Martin Luther King died broke. Malcolm X died broke. Gandhi died broke. Right? So, but we still speak their name. I want you to feel that. I want you to feel that. Right? I want you to feel that. Now, only an ignorant man would say, nah, Christian, we need this paper. Well, how many of our brothers are in jail right now because they needed that paper, but they didn't pursue healthy manhood? Now, what's healthy manhood? Healthy manhood is my ability to respond with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. What's that, Christian? Let me take a pause. Let me see who's in the chat. Let me check out who's in the chat. Oh, my man, Joey, you're back, my man. Good to see you, brother. Let me see what you're saying. What's a man to gain the earth and lose his soul? Absolutely. Absolutely. Hollywood isn't a place. It's a thing. It's a machine. It's a system. Yes. Is what's created to destroy and manipulate the melanated black man and woman and children. Yes. The Druids in Hollywood. Yes, they do. They do. Legacy. Hey, Grace, how are you, my dear friend? Good morning, Ron. How you doing, man? Hey, Joe. Let me see what Joey said. There's not one black man or woman who was a part of Hollywood that ever left worth their name. Yeah, it's not. But this is the thing, Joey. I want you to see something because this is not just Hollywood, right? What Hollywood proves is that no matter what you gain, right, or no matter what you can purchase, the thing you can't purchase is a healthy soul. Right? And what's the soul? The soul is the mind, the will, and the emotions. When you start talking about the soul, people automatically think, oh, they're going religious. No, 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 no. See, the world we live in ain't real anyway. Right? What's real is what goes on in the soul, what goes on in the mind, what goes on in the will, and the emotions. That's what's real. And when it comes to legacy, my brother, when it comes to legacy, I want you to understand what that means. What that means. What will they say when you go? You can't allow your life to be a life where I get up, I go to work, I come home, I get up and go to work, I eat this. No, you have to look within yourself and say, wait a minute. And I'm gonna say this just in case you didn't know it. Just in case you didn't know it, you were born to solve a problem. Your life's journey is to discover the problem you were born to solve. This is where this is where systems, like Joey was talking about earlier, this is where systems want you. Systems want you just living, not pursuing why you were born. That's what systems want you to do, right? That's what religious systems cause people to do, right? Religious systems cause people to just go to church or go to the masjid or go to the synagogue or go wherever they go, but never allow that belief to turn them into anything. That's the danger. That's the danger of systems. Like Joey said, Hollywood is a system. It will turn you into a star, right? But it doesn't make you a healthy human. Religion, you can go in church and become a star, get a title, right? Wear a fancy suit, build a great church. But there's nothing in that will build a healthy system, a healthy you. A healthy you is what matters above all things, right? How many people have gotten married, right? Had a beautiful ceremony. Everybody's like, oh my God, that's beautiful, right? But here you have two unhealthy people that had a beautiful ceremony. What you have then? You have an unhealthy marriage. You have that because and then you know what an unhealthy marriage births, brothers? An unhealthy marriage births unhealthy children, right? Because health is here. Health is here. Now, I know. Now, I don't want you to be dense this morning. I don't want you to be dense and say, hey, Christian, you got to work out. Don't be dense this morning. Don't be shallow. We're not talking about going to the gym and pumping some iron, right? Or if you go, the scripture says, what's good, right? I got to build my spirit just as much as I built my body because this body's going to die. I'm not saying don't take care of it. But this body we have is going to die. It's going to die. It's dying and it's dying. Do you know you start dying the day you were born? You start dying the day you were born. You know what doesn't die about a man? A healthy spirit. Because from your spirit, you can birth anything. That's why circumstances don't define you. Don't let circumstances define you, brother. Don't let circumstances define you, right? Don't let circumstances define you because the spirit in a man is what doesn't die. We spend more time building the parts of us that don't count. Oh, man. Again, I know somebody saying, oh, man, you got to have a healthy body. Yeah, you do. You can have a healthy body, get hit by a car on your way out the gym. The question will be, where was your soul? What will people say about you? When you die, people won't say, oh, they had a great body. Think about it. Think about it. When you died, nobody will say, man, that guy's muscles, bro. You know what people talk about at funerals? How you treated them. How you treated them. You know what your children will remember? How you treated them. How you treated their mother. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hold up, Christian. I ain't with their mom. We divorced. That was just my baby mom. Do you know? That's not your baby's mom. That's the woman that had your child. And you know your children will judge you no matter what the relationship you have with your children's mother or your child's mom. Your child is watching how you treat their mom, whether you're together with them or not. That's called legacy, my brother. These are the things that society and systems don't remind you of. Like church talks more about church family than your actual family, because nothing's pointing you back, right? The reason I started this daggone podcast was because we, like I talked about yesterday in our morning show yesterday, men don't know who they are before they fell. Just as much as, and I know I have different cultures on here, but I want you to know, don't forget that I'm black and I will speak about my culture. If that offends you, it's okay. You can find another podcast to be on. But because I'm a black man, I will speak about black things and I will encourage my community, right? But this is the thing. The legacy is going to matter. Legacy is going to matter in your life. And the question is, how are you developing it? How are you developing it? How are you treating people around you? How do they actually feel about you? What will they say? What will they say? What will they say? What will they say? As a man, you should be concerned, bro. You should be concerned about what they're going to say. And I'm going to tell you, there's all kinds of distractions. And there's some beautiful distractions, right? Some of you are video gamers. Ain't nothing wrong with video gamers. But you don't want to die and somebody say, man, they was a damn good, they was damn good at Madden. Right? So what, you were good at Madden? What did you say to people? What was your legacy like? Right? And so that's why I want to talk about this morning. An unhealthy you can't build anything well. You can start stuff, but it won't be built well. Right? I read a statistic, bro, that spoke to the amount of men that started marriages that never wanted to be in it from the time they said I do. A large number of men start a legacy of family not actually loving the person they're with. They felt forced to be married. What kind of legacy? See, I ain't gonna get deep in. We'll talk about relationships later on. We won't turn this podcast into that. But I'm trying to show you the mind of the stuff that we do, not thinking about legacy. I'm gonna challenge you right now. I'm gonna challenge somebody directly, and it's maybe a few people in here I'm challenged directly, and I feel like it. How many of you have not even considered legacy when you make decisions? You didn't even think legacy when you made these decisions. If we thought legacy, we wouldn't get married so fast. If we thought legacy, we wouldn't be putting seed in women so fast. If you thought legacy, there's certain attitudes you would have gotten rid of. We move through life as if we have no enemy and we have no legacy to leave. This is the deception. This is the distraction. Get through life. Get your little hustle on. Work hard enough to retire. Get your retirement. And guess what? That's what happened to our parents. And most of our parents died with dreams. Most of our fathers died with dreams in them because there was nobody to tell them there's more to you than the everyday hustle. That's why I wake up 5:45 or actually 2:30 this morning, right? I couldn't wait to get to this computer and talk to you men. I couldn't wait to talk to you about a healthy you, building stuff that will last after you. Because that's all that matters in this earth. David of the scripture says, I will not die until I've served my entire generation. In other words, I want to die empty. I want to die empty. I want to die a rag that's been wrung out, that everything comes out of me, all my wisdom, all my understanding. That's a man. A man who dies empty is a man. Be willing to die empty. Be willing to give your kids everything. Let's see in the chat. Let's see who's in. Good morning, Yolanda. How are you, my dear sister? Good morning, Larry, my brother. Yes, die empty. Die empty. Why wouldn't we? Right? Die empty. Because that is what it's all for. That's what it's all about. It's about emptying yourself on this earth. Now, this is the thing. Let's get into it deeper because we haven't even started yet. And I'm talking about everything else this morning. I got about 10 minutes. I got about 10 minutes. Sometimes you bring the wrong tools to situations as a man, right? You bring the wrong tools. For example, I'll tell you, I'm very transparent with you all because I want you to really understand that I'm not a perfect man, right? I'm not a perfect man by any means. And that's why I'm on here. I'm on here because I'm not perfect. I'm on here because I can feel you and you can feel me, right? When my children were younger, I was so focused on building ministry and building a future for them that I didn't pay enough attention to the detail of them. I'm not quiet because I have nothing else to say. I'm quiet because I want us to sit with that for a minute, right? I was so focused on taking care of them that I wasn't getting to know them like I should have. Because guess what, gentlemen? This is the hard piece. You can be an absent father and be present in the house. Y'all about to make me break my table. You can be an absent father and present in the house because it's not about the resources that you bring. It's also about being connected to where you are. I brought the wrong tools to when my kids were first born. I'm thinking, hey, this is my job. I got to hustle. I brought the wrong mindset to raising children. You know why I brought the wrong mindset to raising children? Because my father was always there. I never had to look for my dad. My dad was in the house, but he wasn't really present. He didn't go on the vacations. He paid for them. But when my mom said, hey, I'm taking the kids to Canada, or hey, I'm taking my dad would pay for it. But he wasn't there because he was broken. You know why he was broken? Because his father was broken. I want you to see the chain here, gentlemen. That your grandfather can be broken, your father can be broken, and we blame our fathers for being broken, not realizing that their fathers were broken, right? And we see a chain of unhealthiness now. Come on, because there's some problems that aren't your fault. There's some things that came through bloodline, and the only way it becomes your fault is not to see a pattern and put a stop to it as a man. That's manhood, right? Now that burden, I had to stop that burden. It was my responsibility to stop the burden of being a provider, but disconnected. Oh my God, I want to say that. Men, God, this almost make me cry. Don't be a disconnected provider. Fathers, don't be disconnected providers. Your daughters, hug them, love them, kiss them on that forehead, man. Tell them, show them what love feels like, because you're the only man in your daughter's life that's going to love her and give her everything with no expectation from her, with no exchange. You're the first man to come into your daughter's life that will give her everything and not require anything from her. That's why you got to get healthy, right? Because again, legacy ain't about stocks and bonds. Legacy is your daughter marrying the right man because you were a good example of a man. And I'm not talking about a perfect man. I'm talking about a repentant man. A repentant man. Christian, what's a repentant man? A repentant man is sensitive to his flaws, and he's willing to see them, and he's willing to look at them, and he's willing to apologize for them. Do you hear me? That's a perfect man. The perfect man isn't the flawless man. The perfect man is the man who's willing to admit his flaws in the face of people he hurt. You want to be a man? Be willing to admit your flaws in the face of people that hurt. You want people to respect you? Be willing to admit your flaws in the face of people that your flaws hurt. Legacy is more than money, man. Legacy is way more than that. Legacy is somebody, your kid remembering what you said 25 years ago, and your words still live in them. That's legacy. Legacy is you touching the lives of men around you, and a brother saying, man, that guy was always there. At my father's funeral, When I was eulogizing my father, I'm looking around the room. It's men. I'm men everywhere. Now, my father was a cop, but I'm talking about real men around. They was crying and coming up to me after the funeral. Man, your dad was my man. I ain't even know these cats. Man, your dad came through for me, man. When man, I ain't had nothing, man. Your dad came through for me with some wisdom, man. I was about to lose my mind, man. Your dad held on to me, man. I was about to kill somebody. Legacy in the lives of people where people can carry what you've done and what you said. But you got to start building a healthy you so you can build stuff that lasts. Right? I had to get over that part of me that I didn't know how to receive love early on. And my goodness, this is stuff so deep, man. Jesus, I got to get out of here. Huh? But I didn't know how to receive love early on. I was such a giver of love. I'm gonna stop on this point because God, I gotta go get my baby, wake her up, and get ready for school. But I was such a giver of love, right? I was such a giver of love that I didn't know how to receive love. Right? I remember one time my baby daughter Soul, she was about 2, and she came and she grabbed me and held me and grabbed my shoulder, and I felt so uncomfortable. I felt so uncomfortable in that moment because I realized I don't know how to receive love. I know how to hug her. I know how to kiss her. I know how to give her toys and give her a great life. I know how to run around the yard with her, but I don't know how to receive her love because I was unhealthy. I was such a giver of love that I thought my ability to give love would cover relationships, whether it was with my children or whether it was with my wife or somebody I was dating. I thought my giving of love could hold a relationship together. And I thought because I'm such a giver that I was healthy. Oh, man. Oh, feel this. I thought because I was such a giver, I was healthy. Oh, I'm good, right? I give. No, bro. You're sick because you don't know how to receive love. See, it's an exchange of love, right? I think many of us, brothers, we've brought our own problems to the party, right? We've brought bad advice to new places. We've brought things that we've learned in the past to new places. So we're building as unhealthy men. Sometimes you got to stop and say, man, is this thinking healthy? Yeah, my uncles and them put me down, but is this healthy? Is this healthy for me? Right? Some men are okay with surviving, so they'll give you survival tricks. Some men want to thrive, so you'll have thriving advice. Don't live a life where you have received advice that only causes you to survive. Thrive, my brother. Thrive. Let me see who's in the chat. Let's see. Good morning, Eric. Oh, man. Hayward Hamilton, my guy, man. Good morning, my brother. Let me see, Ron. Joey Smith, good morning, brother. I do have one healthy challenge. It's trauma genetic, or is there a such thing as free will? Trauma isn't a DNA trait. It's a matter of perception and experience. We repeat. I'm sorry. Let me bring this up. There you go. It's a matter of perception and experience. We repeat or don't what we see or experience. Absolutely, bro. Ron, yes, we become what we have seen unless we confront it. Let me say it again, brothers. You will become. I'm gonna go deeper. You'll become what you hate unless you confront it. And that's crazy, right? That's crazy that you will become what you hate unless you confront it as a man. You'll straight up become what you hate. And you wonder how the hell did I get here? Because you didn't confront it. You can see how, like, some of us have issues with our father, right? Either you didn't know him, or you hated him, or you loved him, right? But there's some things that are, you hate that in that parent, right? And you're saying, I'll never be like that. Okay. All right. Okay. You believe that? You believe you'll just never become it just by pixie dust. You'll just never become what you saw growing up. Lies. You're lying to yourself. The only way that you'll ever become different than what you've seen growing up is that you confront it in yourself. Because let me tell you something. Don't fool yourself. What you've seen growing up is in you somewhere. And it's up to you whether to put a quash on it or whether it grows. Yeah. It's up to you, bro. It's up to you, right? My father had anger issues. Guess who got anger issues? Me. Guess what I had to do? I had to sit down and say, man, damn it, I ain't going to be like this, right? Right? I'm not going to just be, I'm going to control me, right? You hear me? A disciplined man is better than a strong city. A disciplined man is better than the strongest city. My God, a disciplined man is better than a strong city. A disciplined man is like a tree planted by water. It goes back and forth. It receives water from the ocean. It's always healthy, and it swings back and forth and provides shade for the people under it. That's the kind of man you want to be. The kind of man that receives from the earth. I gotta go. My God, y'all are crazy. Or maybe I'm crazy. Y'all crazy for coming to see me. And I'm crazy for being this crazy early in the morning. But that's the kind of man you want to be. The man that receives from the earth, grows very high, produces shade for his family. That's the kind of man you want to be. And that's what they'll say about you when you die. Did you produce shade for the people around you? Did you produce shade? Were people able to come up under you and get rest? Was your wife able to rest around you? That's the legacy of man. That's the legacy of a good man. But you got to bring a healthy you to produce healthy stuff that lasts, right? Things you produce out of energy. Goodness, y'all, I got to get out of here. Okay. Literally 7 minutes and I'm out of here. Things you produce out of your own strength don't last. Listen, bro, things you produce out of your own strength don't last. Okay. Y'all remember Abraham? Abraham was old. He was supposed to have a baby, right? He was supposed to have a baby with his old wife. And when God told him he was going to have a son, the first thing he did was look at his inability, right? The first thing he did was look at his inability. That's what, this is how you know something big is happening in your life. When God begins to say things to you as a man that's beyond your ability. Right. And the question is whether you're going to step to this with pride. Right. Abraham looked at the promise and he looked at himself and he let his pride defeat a promise because he said, look at me. Ain't no way me can do that. And that's what we do as men. Right. Something great, some great open doors trying to happen in your life. You're trying to have a great marriage. You're trying to raise your kids well. And you feel like an imposter. I can't. No, this won't last. No. And he began to speak himself out of it. Right. He eventually had the child. Let me fast forward. He eventually, his wife told him, go have a baby with this other lady, the young lady that can have the baby. Go have it with her. And then Hagar had a baby, right? And had a baby. And that baby represented fear. That baby represented fear. Why did that baby represent fear? It represented fear because here's Abraham with a promise from God. And he tried to help God because he didn't believe in himself. He was trying to, come on, feel me. He was trying to help God because he didn't believe in himself. You're not just supposed to believe in God. You're supposed to believe in you. God believes in you as a man. I said this to y'all yesterday. In the Garden of Eden, God believed in Adam. Adam didn't have to believe in God. God believed in Adam. He was his guy. Why do you think God would rest if he was worried about Adam? The scripture says that God rested he created and he rested on the seventh day. How can God rest if he didn't trust man? God sat back and decided, I don't have to do nothing else because I trust man. See, you got to become healthy so that you can trust you and you can trust the decisions you make. Good morning, Tasha. Good morning. Let me see. All right, my man. Okay. George Aiken. Good morning, my brother. As one who has operated out of survival, I was definitely forced to confront some challenges. Yeah, bro. The past few years have shown me what true thriving feels like. Yeah. Good point, George. Because you know what we do, George. You know what we do? We get to the point where we get satisfied, right? And this is one thing, and I want to say this because I know there's some different pastors and things. Good morning, David Fitzgerald. God bless you, man. The great work you're doing. I want to say this because there's some religious leaders and things on here. I want to say this to us. One of the biggest myths of leadership, especially in the church world, is I operate out of pain. I get my best stuff out of pain. Okay. See, the enemy's convinced you that pain is the producer of power. So when you're convinced that pain is the producer of power, you will unconsciously always look for pain because you're looking to be powerful. What the reality is that the best you comes out of healthy-hearted you. I got a book for leaders coming out that I wrote after I finished my master's program. But a lot of leaders are convinced that pain is the production. So you always look for pain. Pain is not the best production. It's just as much as people say, man, when I get high, I produce the best. Get sober and see what you produce. You think you produce great out of pain? Get out of pain and see what you produce. See, most of us never produced anything outside of pain. Some artists never produced anything sober. Man, okay, I got 2 minutes. All right. Oh my God, I love y'all so much. This freaking community is great. Ladies, I want to say this to the ladies. I started a new podcast called Dear Sister to match this one. Dear Sister Podcast. Go on YouTube. Brothers, go tell your ladies. Go tell your shorty. Go tell your wife. Go tell your sister, your aunt. I got a new podcast called the Dear Sister Podcast. Here we are on the Dear Brother Podcast. I got a new podcast called the Dear Sister Podcast. Go on YouTube right now. Subscribe to that channel. I only have one video up so far, but I'll be pumping more today. Eventually, I'm on a quest. I'm on a quest to lift up the lives of men and women, to produce healthy families, more healthy relationships, and to cause trouble in this world. Yes, I'm a problem. I am a problem to this world. What's the problem? I'm a problem to every system. And right now, the biggest thing that's going on in the world is a division between men and women, especially black men and women. It's a division. It's a division to make us hate each other. It's a division to make men not want wives and women to run away from husbands and call every man is toxic. I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission to heal humanity. Christian, you crazy. So are all the legends. Yes, I'm out of my mind, and you better get out of yours, or you're going to live a normal circular life until you die. You weren't born to walk in circles. You were born to produce power and miracle in this world. I'm going after it, brother. What you going after this morning? I got to get out of here, but what you going after this morning? Christian Winners, I'm always called this Christian Winners the advice, and the advice. It's Dear Brother, the advice. I'm sorry, guys. I was teaching. But if you need some advice, man, some advice on anything, right? Some advice on anything. This is my advice time. All right. So if you need some advice, put your question or anything in the chat, and I will address it right now. Okay. I will address it right now. Need advice. Come on. Don't be prideful, brothers. Don't be prideful. Tasha, go on YouTube, Tosh. Go to my Dear Sister Podcast, the Dear Sister Podcast. I'm telling you, it's going to be popping. And I'm not on there talking about men and how women need to be married. It's more to women than just being married and having babies. It's to strengthen women's lives. I wrote a whole book about it. It's right here called The Soul of Sarah. Right? Soul of Sarah. The twin book is Dear Brother. It's the home. All right. So these books, I'm going to change the world with these books. We're going to heal relationships. We're going to stop beating up on each other out here. Let me see. Ron. Okay, let me see what Ron says, especially on social media, everything is so divisive. Yes. Division is glorified. Yes. And applauded. Yes. Why do you think everyone who brings, I'm going to reiterate this, everybody who ever brought unity to the world was murdered? I told y'all. And my greatest example is one of Malcolm X. As long as Malcolm X was in the country talking about hate for white people and hate for black people and separation and all these different things, right? When he went to Mecca, listen, men, I want you to learn something from this. Everything's a teaching moment. When he went to Mecca, what are you trying to say to us, Christian? What I'm trying to say to you is sometimes you got to leave what you're used to get a better revelation. Sometimes you got to leave what you're used to get a revelation, a full revelation. So many pastors and leaders hate me because I speak about the problems in the church. But so did Paul. Do you hate Paul? You don't hate Paul the apostle, but you hate Christian Winners. That's something, right? Right? But Malcolm X was murdered by his own religion faction, because why? He asked them to see more of their faith. And people in the church and leaders hated me because I wanted them to see more of their faith. See, I got up and I went to Mecca. Not actual Mecca, but I went to a mountain. What was that mountain? That mountain for me was called Mount Homeless. That mountain for me was called Mount I'm not doing this religious system. That mountain was for me was I seen too many people hurt by this not to confront the issues of it. Right? Anytime you bring unity, you get murdered. Martin Luther King brought unity, got murdered. Gandhi brought unity, got murdered. Right? Because unity is the curse of this earth. Unity is the only thing against the curse of this earth. The only way to change this world right now is to push unity. So I'm pushing it. I'm not pushing it for men to get married and have a dating party. No, I'm pushing the strength of women and men so we can see who we are, raise better families, and not be under the thumb of these governments and these systems. All right. Vulnerability is emotional response to PSD. Yes, it is. Good point. Yes, Eric. Vulnerability is an emotional response to PTSD. Well, vulnerability is an emotional response to PTSD. I think we would have to really redefine vulnerability. Vulnerability is an openness that most people don't want to have. Sometimes the response to PTSD is to shut down and not be vulnerable at all. I think vulnerability is the cure to PTSD. Let me see. So true. We were talking about this the other day. Yes, all the leaders that were about to unify got shot down. Yes, JFK, Malcolm X, MLK. Yes, absolutely. Because unity is the only cure to the earth, the center of the earth. Right? And what I wish is we had more preachers. Because I'm a Christian, I wish we had more preachers that were about this life instead of hiding behind services and altar calls and convocations and conventions that cause Israel to walk in circles. The church is walking in the same circles Israel is because nobody's willing to step out of it and see the problem and unify the body of Christ. Instead of saying my church and your church, my church do this and my church do that. Do you know when the world talks about the church, they don't talk about your church and their church. They talk about the church. You know, that's why the church don't have power. There's no unity in the church. 4,000 churches in the city of Philadelphia, but yet we had the highest crime and murder rate. That's because there's no unity of the body. We're in pieces. Yeah. Uh-oh. Oh, there he is. Unity pusher. Yes, let's go, man. Get on the team. Because I'm telling you, I got a vision. I got a vision of men. I got a vision of hundreds of thousands of men meeting in the center of the United States in South Dakota. That's my convocation. That's the convocation I want to have. I want to have a couple 100,000 men in South Dakota in the center of the United States of America. And then dispersing them back to their cities and their with passion projects to change their community. You want to know what tip I'm on? That's the tip I'm on. Yeah, I'm stupid. Yup. I'm dumb. Yup. This guy's crazy. Yup. Jesus was so crazy that he came and changed the world in 3.5 years and then died. Yep. That's how crazy he was. If you ain't crazy, then you don't be crazy. Go ahead. You know what? When you're not crazy, you know what it tells me about you when you're not crazy? That you're of this world. See, I'm not of this world. I'm in it, but I'm not of it. And that's why I talk like I do, because I'm not of this world. I take scripture literally. Some people take scripture so they can preach sermons and raise offerings. I take scriptures literally. I'm not of this world. That's why I don't believe in this system. My man. Yes, sir. Let me see. I agree. In my ignorance and blind faith, I hope to live long enough to see a unified church. No, bro, listen to me. Listen to me, George. Don't hope you live long enough. Get down with the movement. You will see a unified church because you'll be part of unifying it, bro. Yo, I gotta go, oh my God, I gotta go. All right, y'all. Listen, please donate. Listen, I'm not asking you to donate for me. If what I'm doing every morning is blessing you, and thank you for those who gave, Yolanda and some other folks that gave. Thank you so much. Some people on Instagram that gave. Listen, this is our project, right? As brothers, this is the biggest project right now I got in front of us. 36,000 books, to all the male incarcerated men in Pennsylvania. All right, this is my project. The book on Amazon is $15. You don't have to buy the book on Amazon. I can get the number lower. The number's lower. So if you buy a book, $20 will allow me to get 2 books into those prisoners' hands, right? So if you give $20, that way I can buy the books, ship them into the prisons, right? I'm trying to get this. Y'all see this number right here, 36,357 men that are incarcerated men in Pennsylvania. All right. So please be a part of this mission. And it's big, but I'm crazy. And I think y'all are too. Y'all crazy to get up with me and hear this crazy wild man talk crazy like I do at 5 something in the morning. So be crazy with me. Let's nail this number, 36,357, right? And we're going to do it small base. I'm not asking anybody for $100. I'm not asking anybody for $5,000. What I'm asking for is to give each book basically is $10 for me to get into the prison, shipped in there. So help me out. Master Built One, Cash App, I believe Cash App and Venmo. All right, give to that. It's $20 will get me 2 books. You can give more. I had people give more, right? But let's get this project done. Let's push into these prisons and let these men know that they're not prisoners. They're incarcerated men that need love and hope and help too. Ladies, again, on here, go on YouTube. I have a new podcast called the Dear Sister Podcast. Go subscribe, like, and share. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out with me this morning. And always remember, dear brother, you're valuable. Be great today. Be great tomorrow. Be great forever, because that's how God made you. I love y'all cats. Have a great